Hello. Um, Today's been an interesting day. So, how do I start? Because I've got some recorded footage I want to show you, just to let you know what type of people that I deal with in this godforsaken village that I currently reside in. But so yeah, I was walking down to the front street. You know what I mean? Just having a look. I was thinking about maybe getting a trim, but the hairdressers was quite busy. But before I actually got to there, I was noticing one of the local crackheads. He was like sort of like sat in the car with his witch, this demonically possessed witch. Now I just saw them two, and he was just driving around. And he's turning around, he's going around the back streets, come back around the front street, driving around, come back, and I'm like looking at him as to say like, you know, like, what you doing? And then like he must have done this like 2 or 3, maybe 4 times. And then he finally pulls out and pulls into a parking space. Maybe that's what he was looking for, was a parking space. But I was just, but you know what I mean? You just seen him, he's driving around in fucking circles. And I just went like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, what are you fucking telling me? Wait. I'll stab you, you cunt. I'll get a knife and I'll fucking stab you. I'll come to your fucking house. Making all these type of threats. And I didn't like lose my patience. I think I just like looked at him and was like, what are you doing? What do you think you're going to do? And then he gets out of his car, and like I had no idea that he had two. I didn't even know he had 2 kids, but there was 2 kids in the back of the car. I never saw them. I just basically said, what are you doing? Because he's fucking driving around. And he went fucking apeshit. And he's making his mouth go. Well, no, actually, he was in the car first, and he was like threatening to stab us. Right, which I was laughing at him. I says, oh, are you going to stab us? I was just like playing along, laughing at him and entertaining the lunatic in the car. And then he tried to run us over. He like literally drove the car at us, like drove past us. He never touched us. And I just started laughing at him, and he drove the car around, and he tried to drive at us again, and I just laughed at him. I mean, it was along the front street, so there's probably camera footage of him doing it, you know what I mean? And so rather than like, look, at the end of the day, right, it takes a lot of restraint to not retaliate, you know what I mean? Especially when you're dealing with someone who's like not a threat in any sense of the word, not in any stretch of the imagination, but like it's like they try to send these people towards us to like get us to react in an aggressive type of way. So like the people who've been spreading all these lies, saying I'm aggressive, I'm this, that, and the other, go, see, I told you that's what he's like, I told you. So, you know, it takes more strength to not react, to not retaliate when dealing with clearly mentally unstable individuals. But then he got out of the car, and then he started walking along like with his phone in his hand. Now he's going to get a family member or something like that, because he couldn't deal with it on his own. He had to use a car to try and run us over. Then he has to get a family member to try and gang up to attack us, and then he has to go into the back of the car, into the boot, to like get like a weapon to try and attack us with. Do you know what I mean? So he's either on crack, or he's basically on crack and steroids. So he's full of punk rock. You know what I mean? Helicopter. So he's full of punk rock, right? And he's trying to like be acting like an impressive in front of his demonically possessed witch that was in the car driving around. Like she's basically cackling like one. Just like, oh, it was mad. And so I decided to just pull out my phone and like record, because at the end of the day, like I've got him on camera, like not only physically like trying to threaten us, saying he's going to come to my house. You know what I mean? And assault us. But bearing in mind, he had to use a car, get a family member, or use a tool to try and like be brave enough to have a go at us. And then like as I was like filming, he slapped the phone out of my hand, which went skidding across the road, which I went after. So slander, defamation, and assault I've got on one thread of footage. But you know, as you do, you've got the insults. He's insulting me, I'm insulting him, and he's making his mouth go, and still hasn't done anything other than drive off in his car in a huff, saying he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a family member that was in the car, and I looked at him, he looked at me, he basically drove into the state, turned around and drove off. So like, yeah, oh yeah. So after all that, he tried to drive into us with his car, which I just stepped aside, sort of thing. He just drove right past us, but he did try to drive into us. Then he's threatened to stab us, threatened to run us over with his car. Then he's threatened to get a family member so he can gang up with his family member to attack us, because clearly he isn't capable of doing it on his own. And then he needs to get a tool out of the back of the boot to try and bash us with, because obviously he can't actually use his hands. But and all the while I'm just trying to remain calm, cool and collective, while watching this idiot just make all kinds of insults. And the thing that he doesn't realise is while he's like aggressive and shouting and like losing his cool and all that, he's let me know what these idiots have been saying about me behind my back. But long story short, it's of no consequence, because they're the ones who are trying hard to cause me problems. I'm not trying to cause problems to anyone. I was just watching, observing this lunatic driving around. And I just said, what are you doing? And then he lost his shit. And in the next clip I'll show you what I was dealing with. But dear me, the lunatics are definitely on the grass in this heat. But yeah, so that was interesting. But yeah, like they can make the baseless threats all they want. I mean, he tried to use a car, tried to threaten to stab us, tried to threaten us with a family member to gang up on us, and then he had to use some sort of tool in the car that wasn't actually in the car, and then he had his screaming girlfriend driving around in the car who looked like a crackhead. She had no teeth. And I said like, look, who are you? Which with no teeth? And then she said, I've had my head kicked in, that's why I've got no teeth. You ginger cunt. I says, oh, so you're colourblind as well as toothless. But like, this is the type of thing that I've been dealing with. It was just been an interesting day. It still really hasn't. All it's done is just let me know like the type of things they've been saying about me behind my back. Because at the end of the day, I care for my mother. And so these psychopaths that I'm dealing with have gone to extreme lengths to make sure that I can't earn any money, because if I try to apply for a job, they'll contact the people I'm applying and speak badly about us or give us bad reviews. They've done this all along. They've been claiming benefits in my name through identity theft. So that's so like there's a sanction in there. So I can't, even if I wanted to claim benefits, I can't. So I've got to try and look at other avenues, and all the while I'm trying to manage finances, which I'm doing so very successfully. Well, put it this way, I'm in credit for the gas and electric. I have a freezer full of food, a fridge full of food, and I've managed to save money, a substantial amount of money. So yeah, so I've managed to save a substantial amount of money, which keeps us like in the black, which makes sure that my mother's cared for, and I'm cared for. My mother knows exactly what I'm doing, but the trouble is she has a short-term memory, so she keeps forgetting. But I keep reminding her, but she keeps forgetting. So it's like Groundhog Day over and over. But it's interesting to know what they've been saying, because these people who are trying to make my life a misery are just incredibly jealous, and they have no patience. And I just have to say a few words, and they just lose the shit instantly. And so yeah, so I've got a clip to show you of what I've been dealing with. Just a small quick clip, but yeah, I'm literally dealing with idiots. But I'll show you the clip shortly. Here it comes. But on top of that, before I show you the clip, I've got more interesting things to talk to you about, which I'll get back in a while. I only need to talk when things are relevant, you know, and it's quite clear that the lunatics are losing patience. They try and always cause problems, but at the end of the day, all I've got to do is just remain calm, cool and collected, and just watch these idiots lose the shit. So yeah, but I've got some more things I want to talk about in due course. As I say, I only talk now when it's relevant. And yeah. before I do go. Like, so these clowns who I'm dealing with, who have tried, like, they've tried always to try and they've bribed a judge. They like bribing this judge to like delay this case, right? Because we got a silly Billy to pretend to come to court and pretend to be me to sign or forge my signature on documents, right? And then you have these corrupt police officers, right, who work for this corrupt judge, right? And the fat pedo who I've been dealing with got to find out how to commit fraud and perjury in a Telegram group on Telegram. So there's clearly groups in Telegram that tell you how to fraud the system, tell you which judges are corrupt, who to go to see, what's it. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm uncovering. So they kept bribing this judge to delay, while they basically think of a way to poison me, or get me to try and kill myself, or have us arrested or institutionalised, or things like that, but which I'll get more in depth about shortly. But yeah, I'm just uncovering all of this, and I've just got clown family members who have like went to extreme lengths to commit fraud and hide my true identity from me for years now, to be honest with you. I have to say for 47 years. And so I'm slowly picking it all apart and uncovering what's going on while dealing with mentally unstable retards in the village. But yeah, so I'll come back shortly with more info. So yeah, so here's a clip of me dealing with an unhinged crackhead with a big mouth that did nothing. It was all mouth, no action. And here he is.
You're knocking out your mum's fucking house without me smashing your fucking head in, you daft cunt.
You're gonna come to me? So he's going to come to the house. He's going to come to my mother's house to make his baseless threats that he'll need like an army or a tool or his car, you know, or a knife, you know, because he did threaten to stab us before trying to run us over. So, you know, he needs an extension because he's incapable of doing anything. He slapped the phone out of my hand. Ooh. But, you know, this is like the level of moron that I have to deal with. This is the caliber of people that I'm dealing with, right? It doesn't get any better, right? It doesn't get any better. But so there's a threat. He's made a threat. He's going to cut my house and smash my face in. He couldn't do it there. Or he needed a car. Or he needed a tool that was in the back of his car. Or he needed to get a family member to hold his penis. But other than slapping the phone out of my hand, which is also technically assault, which I have the full stream of the video, minus the name calling. But hey, that's what happens when you get into these sort of situations. You just start calling each other names. It's like, who can insult each other the worst? But, you know, that's not going to happen. You know, I mean, he drove off saying he's going to do this, that, and the other. So I'm waiting. We'll see. I mean, I've already seen this family member that looked at us menacingly and turned the car around and drove away. So, you know, that's about as intense as it's going to get. But yeah, I'm going to come to your house and smash fuck out you with me knife or me car or a tool that I've got in the back of me car or a family member. I've got to have an extension to make us feel brave because the crack's wearing off and I'm a fucking idiot. But you know, that's what I have to deal with. But you know, I'm making light of the situation and having some fun. You're going to cut me mother's house, are you?
I am, aye. Yeah, I am. You little faggot cunt.
Little. I'm 6'3" and he's a midget. But okay.
Why don't you go and pinch your money some more?
Pinch money. So this is what the SME campaign shithead artists have been talking about. So apparently stealing money, you know, pay bills, we're in credit, over £300 in credit actually. I'd say a freezer full of food. Hold on. You know, it looks pretty fucking full to me, you know what I mean? But yeah. But, you know, stealing money. It's just like these fucking imbeciles have done all sorts to isolate us and prevent me from actually earning my own money. But but let's not quibble over the mind of a retard who only sees one-dimensional views. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay, stealing money. Okay. I'm just going to get this on camera.
Go and get your own house, you little rat cunt.
Ah, yes. Little rat cunt. Yes, I tower over him, and he's on steroids, which, shrivels up your knob. That and smoking crack and his witch bitch, who drives the car and cackles exactly like a fucking witch. She's probably has a broom and a hat, in the cupboard when you get home. You know what I mean? I feel sorry for the two kids, you know what I mean? Their fucking parents as useless as those two, right? Anyway, like the talk about making mountains out of molehills. So these unhinged individuals with their, with their myopic world view, they literally can't see past the nose, says retarded things like, you little rat cunt. It's just like, do you actually understand that I tower over you, shorty? Well, no, never mind. This is the level of fucking redundant mentality you have to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, I'm surrounded by these fucking people, you know what I mean, who all sold out. They're all thick as shit. But yeah, the toothless bride who's fucking colourblind. I got fucking beaten up. That's why I've got no teeth in my mouth. It's like, yeah, you smoked that much fucking crack or meth, your teeth are falling out. But if you want to tell us that you got beat up, you got beat up, and then she calls us a ginger cunt. So I says fucking colourblind and knee teeth. No teeth, do you know what I mean? To boot. So fucking, oh yeah. While he's still looking in the back of his car for a tool to come and beat us up, and then he's like, all right, watch this. And he got in his car and he drove away. And as I was walking home, and what this so-called family member, looking out of his fucking window, turned the car around and drove off. It's like, yep, okay. Right. But yeah. Good, spend some more money, you little rat cunt. Why you go smoke some more fucking crack that you had to suck dick for, you fucking prick. But anyway, I'll leave it there, right? But that was sort of like some of my day-to-day. Interesting, don't you think? See you later.